Mounjaro, trending blockbuster weight loss drug. It's in high demand and there are reports of shortage. It's supposed to be more effective than the other famous drug Ozempic. And who can use this drug? There is increasing celebrity obsession about weight loss drug. So in this video, let us dwell into the details of Mounjaro. Welcome to PD's Research Bites. So weight loss drugs are becoming very popular these days. You must have read about Ozempic, you must have heard about Mounjaro. Celebrities obsessed by weight loss drugs. Many celebrities openly talked about Ozempic and Mounjaro. Amy Schumer, Kathy Bates, Elon Musk, one of the first celebrity openly expressed about Ozempic. Oprah Winfrey, Jeremy Clarkson, Whoopi Goldberg mentioned that Mounjaro helped her to lose weight. So there are two groups of weight loss drugs I would like to mention in this video. These are the common ones. So these drugs were previously approved for diabetes. It's not like these drugs are very new to the market. But what is new is this drug, especially the drug Mounjaro, recently approved by many countries for weight loss. So which are these two group of drugs? So the first group is semaglutide. So examples are Ozempic and Wegovy. So these drugs were around for a few years. So this belongs to semaglutide. I'm going to talk about Mounjaro, and Mounjaro belonged to Tirzepatide group, and the other drug in this group which is also famous is Zepbound. So Zepbound and Mounjaro are the two commonly known drugs in Tirzepatide group. So what is this Mounjaro? The name sounds strange to me and I started looking at what is the origin of this name and what is the context of naming this drug as Mounjaro, and I couldn't find much details. The pharmaceuticals named like this. So it's a brand name of the drug Tirzepatide. It is used for diabetes and it will be soon available for weight loss. In many countries it is approved by the drug regulatory authorities. In UK, Australia, Germany, it's already approved. And similar drug by the name Zepbound, that's also a Tirzepatide, that is approved by FDA in US. And India is also in the process of approving both the drugs. And currently it is approved for diabetes, but India is in the process of approving these drugs for weight loss. So how does this drug works, Tirzepatide? It's very interesting because these drugs aid in weight loss. So how does it work? So Tirzepatide works for weight loss by mimicking hormones in our body that tell our brain that we feel full. And it affects feelings of hunger and fullness as well as changing how the body processes food. Isn't it interesting that this is mimicking the hormones and telling our brain that we are full. We don't have to eat more. So basically it mimics two hormones. They are GLP-1, glucagon-like peptide 1, and GIP. That is glucose-dependent insulinotropic polypeptide. So GLP-1 and GIP. So these are the two hormones these drugs are mimicking. So when you eat, what happens is our body naturally releases GIP and GLP-1 hormones. These hormones regulate our appetite, food intake and blood sugar levels. That is why these drugs are used in controlling the blood sugar. And Tirzepatide mimics and amplifies the effect of these hormones. The hormones are GLP-1 and GIP. So what happens is when people feel fuller with smaller meals, so the quantity, the portion control can be achieved. So this can reduce the overall food intake and lead to weight loss. So that is how we lose the weight. And it also helps body to process sugar more effectively and slows down how quickly food leaves your stomach. So all this effect will help us to take less quantity of food or portion control, and that helps in weight loss. So coming to the research evidence, is there research evidence for these drugs? Yes, Tirzepatide, which Mounjaro and Zepbound belongs to, have found more effective than semaglutide, that is Ozempic and Wegovy, for weight loss. In some studies, people have lost up to 20% of their body weight. And in other studies, they have lost an average of 25% of their body weight in the first year of treatment with Tirzepatide, while semaglutide had 15% weight loss. So that shows there is a clear difference between these two drugs, Ozempic and Mounjaro. So this researcher shows a clear difference between Mounjaro and Ozempic. The weight loss is more in Mounjaro, Tirzepatide group. I have been hearing the names Ozempic and Mounjaro. And what is the difference between these two group of drugs? Basically Tirzepatide and semaglutide. Both work by mimicking hormones that regulate appetite and blood sugar. But what is the difference here? So Tirzepatide, they act on two hormones, GIP and GLP-1. But semaglutide act only on one hormone receptor, that is GLP-1. So that is the difference. Semaglutide acts on single hormone receptor while Tirzepatide acts on two hormone receptors. So the dual action of Tirzepatide or acting on two hormones makes Tirzepatide a more effective drug for weight loss than Ozempic. Any side effects? As usual, when we talk about drugs, we need to discuss about side effects as well. So there are some minor side effects or most common side effects reported like nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation. So these are some of the side effects. But there are also serious side effects which are rare, but there are some serious side effects. These include inflammation of the pancreas like pancreatitis and gallbladder stones, predisposition to gallbladder stones. And also there are side effects like hypoglycemia, paralysis of the stomach, etc. are reported with these drugs. And in animal studies, these drugs showed increased risk of thyroid cancer. So that is not proved in humans, it is animal studies shows that. And also there could be a rebound effect. So once people stop this medication, there could be a weight gain. So now the main question is, who should use this drug? It all sounds good. Okay, there are some side effects, but it sounds good, but who can use? Not for everyone, for sure. It is used or approved for weight loss in some countries for adults with a body mass index of 30 or higher. So adults who are clearly obese, not just overweight, because body mass index of 30 or higher is in obesity category. And people with body mass index of 27 or above can also use if they have a weight-related serious health condition, such as cardiovascular disease, diabetes, etc. So it's not suitable for everyone. It shouldn't be used in pregnancy and may not be suitable for people with certain medical conditions and those with a history of eating disorders. And we have to remember it is a prescription drug. So it has to be used under the medical supervision and the drug is obtained by consultation with medical practitioners. So it's in high demand and there is a shortage of stock. Stock shortage have already reported in some countries like Australia and US. Due to the ongoing demand in many countries, shortage of drug, more shortage of drug likely to happen. Though there is a global shortage, the good news is that many pharmaceutical companies are trying to develop similar drugs. So the shortage, because now there are only few drugs in the market, so that is why, and more demand, that is why the shortage is. So when more similar type of drugs are manufactured, then the shortage will come down. So to conclude Mounjaro, will Mounjaro help with obesity crisis? There is a global obesity crisis. It's a huge public health issue. World Health Organization estimates 1 in 8 people living with obesity. So that's a huge proportion of people with obesity in the world. So currently these drugs are approved by few countries. Few drugs are available and it is expensive. So it's not that accessible to everyone who need this. And people who wants to reduce few kilos, so they could try diet and exercise, lifestyle modifications. So these drugs are clearly for people with obesity, with high BMI and people with associated health conditions. And these drugs should be taken under medical supervision. So Mounjaro is a promising drug, but it has to be used by people, those who deserve it. So thank you very much for listening to this video. Please like, share and subscribe.